Thank you very much. I promise you 4 minutes and you can hit the road. I'll be very quick. A little applause. Thank you very much. So, first thing I have to say is, Lupe, God bless you. Your husband, your family, it's all about giving. All of you here tonight are here because you're giving in some part to make this university better. I've had gifts from this university that have never been talked about. And University, San Jose State, everyone who's associated with San Jose State is giving all the time if you believe in this institution like I do and like my wife does. For me, I was lucky. I had a chance to live all over the country. I went to 7 grammar schools in 6 different states. I went to junior high and then 2 high schools. And 2 high schools are in Northern California, and the second one was Fremont Union High School in Sunnyvale, California. And when you change schools, you learn something. You go to a new school, and the first day somebody wants to fight you. And then the second day you don't dress right. And the third day your accent is different. And finally you get along, and then you go to another school. And there was a man, San Jose State graduate, named Ken Stanger. And Ken Stanger was a football coach at Fremont High School. And when you change high schools, you want to go out for football. I was no good, but I was mediocre enough to make the team, and because you'll be a little bit accepted, and you can get to meet the cheerleaders and get accepted. And so I was a mediocre player for him, but I could always throw. And so I would hike as a center for punts and third-string quarterback on long pass situations. And this man made me feel welcome and looked out for me. And it was tough, but he was my friend, a real friend. And one day, when I'm a junior, now I'm a senior, and I'm playing my normal sport, Ken Stanger's head football coach had a second sport, and he was a swimming coach. And he said, you know, we only have 3-4 weeks when you're going to graduate, and I want you to come swim on a relay team because I have 2 real good swimmers, and I understand you're a good swimmer. At that time, I was living in an orphanage, but as an employee. I had gone to work when I was in this orphanage right near the high school as an employee, and I also ran the aquatics there where they had a swimming pool. And so anyway, I said, Coach, I'll do whatever you want me to do. So all of a sudden, I get a phone call. He said, I want you to come after your baseball game today because I want you to meet somebody and come to the pool. So I played my game, and I played okay, and that was that. And I went there, and I walk in, and he takes a yellow ball, and he throws it, the narrow pool, throws it across at me. Well, he was always doing that kind of stuff, so I stepped back, and I was warm. So I fired the ball as hard as I could at him, and he handed the ball to a tall man. The man's name is Ed Rudloff from San Jose State. And he took about 6 steps back, and he's about 6'7", and he fired the ball and almost took off my head. And I'd never touched a water polo ball. I'd never seen one. I'd seen what the goals looked like. Anyway, short story, make it quick. They get together and they talk to me and they say, you know, you're a good swimmer and you're used to lifeguarding and you're used to swimming in the ocean and you know about that and you like in football, you like to mix it up. We'd like you to come and try water polo at San Jose State, a scholarship as a freshman. And I said, you know, what a great offer, but I'm really so happy. I have a very good job. My dad went to 5th grade. My mother went a little farther, and But we have no college plans, but I have a super job, I promise. So I thank you very much. And I turned to walk away, and he grabbed my arm, and he said, no, 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 no. Try it out. I said, really, really, Coach, I can't. And I thank you all very much, and that's good. And I'm done, and I go home. Goes and sees my parents when I'm not there. And he says, you ought to let him come down. He can try it for a half a year. If he doesn't like it, I think he'd be pretty good. San Jose State coach coming and talking to a San Jose State alumni player who was a football player when Pearl Harbor, the San Jose State, as you all know, San Jose State team was at Pearl Harbor, and they, of course, didn't play the game. And anyway, these two men, who one he'd known for 2 weeks, and the other one he'd known for a year and a half. And they said, okay, and I talked to my parents, and so I went and tried it, and I played pretty well. That's really a nice gift. But gifts link. Lupe's gift will link to millions of people over time. Gifts link. The people who were standing behind me, the guys in the fraternity, and Ed Mosier was in the audience, and a whole bunch of people at San Jose State, they accept me into a fraternity. Now you have pledging where you go and meet the people. Well, they did what they do as a closet case, because I didn't have a tie, I didn't have a coat, I didn't have any of that stuff. And but they took and put me in the closet, and then they talk about, didn't you all meet him? And anyway, they put me in this fraternity. So, but here's the maximum gift anyone can give. The maximum gift you can ever give. One of my fraternity brothers comes running over when I'm playing volleyball over in some courts that are no longer there, just public courts that the public could use and play, some cement courts. I'm playing volleyball one afternoon. And he comes and he says, you need to come back to the fraternity house and you've got to do some things. And I said, okay. And he was a pledge. And he was a little tiny guy, Bruce Waldy. So I was giving him a bad time. And I said, okay, Bruce, let's go. And I had a bike, and I'm riding my bike. And so he's riding his bike, and we went through the campus. And there was a black and white photo about that big. And I stopped my bike, and I said, that's a pretty woman. And this little, I don't want to call him a bad name. He was my dear friend, but I used to I called him a bad name. I won't now. But anyway, I said, okay, pledge, your job is to introduce that lady to me. You say her name is Virginia Nicholas. I said, so you find Virginia Nicholas and you introduce her to me. And he did. And the real person that should accept this award is my wife, Jenny Nicholas. Thank you all very much.